Hey guys, I am here to tell you that I am a hyperbike technician now, and I got some things to tell you now. If y'all need any help with y'all's hyperbikes, you can just contact me on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or on YouTube. I'm gonna be making hyperbike videos and everything else, but right now I'm gonna tell y'all something. If y'all buy a bike from Walmart or any kind of bike from anywhere, you might want otherwise look up YouTube. If you don't know how to do it yourself, you can contact me and I can tell you. Um, I got me a hyperbike right now. It's actually from originally from Walmart, but this is actually everything is custom. Coming to the front handlebars, they are Casino District, which are not really that good. They're heavy as fuck. Coming down to the original Hyper rims, they're original. I took the stickers off. That's how I got it. The chain is new, but I'm getting a new chain because it's too tight. It's got nylon, back tire, original Hyperbike, back wheel, and crank, and custom seat and everything. It's a stoner seat with American flag symbols, with Rasta, and a three-piece crank. Well, here's what I'm gonna tell y'all something. The back rims are actually a lot harder to fix, including what most people don't realize is there is not really a lot of durability with those back rims when it comes to tricks. If you're gonna do any kind of tricks on them, don't do them on the streets. Do them at a park because you're gonna end up messing them up. I'm gonna describe why it's gonna mess up on both ends of a rim when it comes to this. For example, this rim right here, which is a Haro rim, it's a little bit bigger than everything else. No, this is not something you use for, hyperbikes because of the size of the sprocket. Now, this is a built-in sprocket, you know, everything is built in. Now you can see how everything around it is just a whole circle and how everything inside is where you put your bearings and everything. With a hyperbike, you are going to be putting a lot of time and effort and freaking fixing things because in a week I've already took this bike apart about 7-8 times. Now the back rim is assembled into two cups on each side which is not really strong at all, and they're aluminum. Now the size bearings come in about around 4 sets of bearings. Now on your left side of your rim, which is the opposite side of the sprocket, my best advice is if you have a different rim and you have this kind right here, it's a little dirty. It's broken, but I have a different one and it's the same thing. It's newer. If you have this kind of bearing set, which is a race bearing, and you have it and everything else, my advice is take the back rim apart and put that set of bearings in them. The reason is because most reason that hyperbikes are falling apart on a back rim and crank is because one is they're not tightened up. Walmart does not do that. They just do, just barely sticking and everything else. But another reason why people are having their bikes tearing apart is if you tighten up the back rim and everything else too tight, it can bend the back seal cups for the back rims. The new three-piece cranks, this one is an old one, but the new one's like my old gray Static Boy BMX bike. What happened to it was in a week the back rim has already fell apart, and on this back rim it has a rubber outside sprocket piece. They came with aluminum metal sprocket piece and it just broke off. Another thing is the 4 sets, one, two, three. Yeah, the 4 sets of bearings it's gonna come with. It's gonna come with a medium, it's gonna come with a small medium, it's gonna come with a small, and it's gonna come with an extra small. The medium small will go on top of the sprocket. These are basically kind of like Cassidy sprockets. Cassidy sprockets are sprockets that is not made into the rim itself or the hub. They are not hub sprockets. They are inside chamber sprockets. Now the mechanisms that pull and torque the bike and everything else to make it move comes with a 3-sealer chamber piece kit. And those are really not something you want to get. And the thing is, okay, if you torque so much on your bike, like doing wheelies, even just hitting the back rim, even if you got in a wreck or something, the 3 pieces that makes the rim move and everything else inside that sprocket are easy and delicate and are very, very easy to break. And the only thing that is holding them is a metal wire. There's something I learned though. If you keep your back rim greased as much, it will last a little bit longer. If you be like some dumbasses that wants to have their bike where, okay, you want to make the sprocket louder, you don't do that on those kind of bikes because they will break easily. When you take your bike apart when you get it from Walmart, make sure delicately take the sprocket out and make sure that no bearings are falling out of it, because right behind there is the medium bearings. And one little sprocket, the super small bearings inside that bottom of that sprocket, which is what, torques it together and everything else from rubbing, can bind up and crack your back hub, and it is over with that back rim. That is the main reason why it's messing up. Now, going down from the sprocket to the left side, the right to the left, here's how it starts. It starts with a holding piece. It's a smaller than the large one on the other side. Starts with a smaller piece. And then it goes to your sprocket, which is a Cassidy sprocket, to your hub, which is an inner hub sprocket, which will be holding. First set is medium small. Well, no, not medium small bearings. Then it comes next, going past the torque converter keys, which will make your bike move, to super small, which you want to grease both sides so the bearings do not fall out. Now, what's holding all those small tiny bearings on the bottom is a rounders piece. And a rounders piece is about that big, and it goes on your axle and everything else before you put the bike together. And right behind that, the holding piece, is the medium bearings. Past the medium bearings is, the wall to what holds the bearings and everything else. And through that wall is the medium small. Now, the medium small is what I just showed you probably like a minute ago, which was, the race bearings. My advice was put those in, because I've seen a lot of them, hubcaps be just weared out and just bented, busted in, just broken. Another thing I found out is people will be tightening them so tight that they will bend themselves, or they will be glued, and they will make it where you cannot get them off really unless you take one whole side out, which will lead to problems. But when you tighten them up, you just tighten them with your hands. Don't use a wrench. Don't use any of that. Only use a wrench when it gets stuck. And remember, righty tighty, lefty loosey. Easiest to know. But that's all y'all need to know. This is my bike. It is going for 170 when I get my chain and everything and my brakes. And it is a one-of-a-kind bike. If y'all like this video and it has helped you, please put a like and leave a comment if you need anything else. I got another bike that's going to be a project, and that is my casino bike. Y'all have a nice day. Like it up on YouTube, bro, and Facebook.